So I've tweeted, or I'm about to tweet, the next book you've written, Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual.
Yay! This was published last year. Bestseller.
And that's 78 life lessons.
To ace your life, yeah.
But it's all based on your own experience, this one.
Yes, so this is it's correct. So whereas Asexual Perspectives, I've interviewed 46 other asexuals, plus myself in Asexual Perspectives book, hence why there's 47 asexual stories in it. The Diary Confessions of a Hyper-Romantic Asexual, 78 Life Lessons to Ace Your Life, is an autobiographical diary from certain points in my life. And I had this waking vision of a guy who I thought was my soulmate, and I happened to meet this guy in real life about 2 weeks later, and it's the events that unfolded after that. So, and some other things, yeah. So it was all the life lessons I learned, and it also talks about behind the scenes of when I spoke for Blue Talks at Oxford University as well. So it's a very interesting book. The life lessons, literally in part of the book, I dissect text messages from a heterosexual guy, what he says in the text message and what he actually means. So for anyone who's interested in dating, relationships, psychology of relationships as well, there's a review on Amazon.com. There's a few reviews, Amazon.co.uk. Actually, it's from Amazon.co.uk, but they usually reviews usually go on .com as well. That says about it's a good book to do with the psychology of relationships. Yeah, even if you're not asexual. So it's all about like healthy relationships, attachment styles, and it's about being very self-aware of who you are. But it's all the life lessons you learn along the way of relationships that you can use in every aspect of your life, not just relationships usually. So I could always read some out, or you could, or I could get the book.
I'll pass the book back to you.
So yeah, so this book, so what is a life lesson? Life lesson 39, you can't make sense of people who don't make sense of themselves. So in relationships and dating, attraction is usually the first thing we have for someone before we really know them. But some people don't really understand themselves, and they try to seek a relationship with someone else to fill a void in their life or to fill a void with themselves. But if they haven't got to know themselves and understand themselves and what they like and they dislike, then they're not really going to be an effective team player in a relationship. And so this is like, if you are dating someone and they're confused about who they are and they're confused about their life, they don't know what they're doing, they don't know where they're going, that's not going to be a healthy relationship for you, because you can't be stable and secure with someone who's up and down and not stable and secure in themselves. And that's what the life lesson is all about. So it's really important that you choose the right friends for you, the right partner for you, the right connections for you, so you can have a more stable life. Because sometimes people are like, oh, well, you're in a relationship with that person and this is, you know, maybe some things have gone off and it's your fault because you're with that person. But it's like, instead of blaming yourself, you've got to realise that sometimes you're with the wrong person, not because there's anything necessarily wrong with you inherently, but because you choose people that are not self-aware and that are not secure within themselves and that literally don't have a direction. It's like you see on websites, I've got over 10 years online dating experience, by the way. You see on websites and they're like, oh, I don't really know what I'm looking for. It's like, if you don't know what you're looking for, then how do you know what you're aiming for? And if people are just going along and going, oh, anything goes, or I'm not fussy, that's not being intentional. To have healthy relationships, you've got to be very, very intentional. And if you're with someone who's up and down in their mannerisms, up and down in their mood, you can't be stable with someone like that. So it's better to look for someone who's more grounded, who understands themselves better, who's actually thought what type of person they want to be with in a relationship, how they would envision their life with a partner, not just someone who's like just looking for a good time, that type of thing. So, you know, I mean, I think it's very important, even with friendships, you can pick someone who's a friend, but their moods are up and down all the time. They have mood swings, for example. Obviously, some people have disabilities and mental health conditions that can affect them like that, but you've got to understand that your life might be up and down because they're up and down. So you've either got to stabilise yourself and put boundaries in place and assert those boundaries, or you've got to be in situations that are going to serve you better with more people who've got more direction in their life and are more stable in what they want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Also, I can understand why the book is popular, because you're drawing this out of real situations.
Yeah. So this Dire Confessions for Hyperromantic Asexual is suitable for anyone of any sexual orientation, and it's literally taking the life lessons that I've learned from my own relationships, because I've sometimes ended up with guys who've not known what they want, and they've got mood swings and things like that, and they're like, 1 minute they're like, oh, I really, they blow, some guys blow hot and cold, and they're like, I'm really into you, and then you're like, I'm not bothering to message you for hours or days or whatever. And you can't be stable and secure with someone who's up and down. You need to have someone who knows what they want and how to build a life together. And so I've really honed in all these different life lessons. I mean, that's just one of them. There's like loads more throughout the book, which I could read more out, but I'm aware of the time. So
well, one more.
What one should I pick? What one should I pick? Life lesson 60. What some people frown upon and believe to be your weaknesses are often some of your greatest strengths. So don't listen to the naysayers, the people who don't understand you, and the people who don't recognise your unique gifts to the world. That's their problem, not yours. Just keep being unique you, because nobody does you better.
Right. Well, that sounds really good. I think the books, I can see why. So for most people, that would be a good book to start with.
Very good, yeah. Especially whatever sexual orientation you are. If you're looking for a book about confidence, growing your confidence, growing your self-esteem, living an authentic life, Dire Confessions of a Hyperromantic is about that, because of all the life lessons. It will help you take those life lessons, apply them to multiple aspects of your life, to live a much more happy life. I wished I'd known these life lessons when I was like 16, and had started having my first serious relationship, for example, and even throughout college and uni. I wished I'd had this book then, because it teaches things that are foundational to healthy relationships that I didn't know back then, and it would have saved me a lot of heartache and pain. So, and it's very, this is very good for self-esteem. It's all about understanding yourself and knowing that what other people might find as weaknesses in you and might say, oh, is not good in you, can be some of your great strengths. So don't listen to people who are just being negative about you. Lean into your gifts. So, for example, years ago, I was told I talk too much, which some of your listeners might still agree with. But
right, okay.
If I wasn't able to talk, then I wouldn't be able to be here, would I, right now?
No, well, just introduce the next track then. How about that?
So, this is Cher, Believe.